everybody, it's Lisa Young Sutton with a quick video for all of you learners and teachers. Because I believe that mastering the Lenormand is as simple as playing with your cards, I thought I'd start sharing some of the games I played with the cards when I was learning. And I'll start with the cards that I just drew yesterday and explain how I used them, and we'll look at how much more we can get out of those 3 cards. So several times a week after meditating, I lay 3 cards asking for an oracular or prophetic message. And I received the fish, child, and dog. Okay, so when I use the cards this way, I'm always reading the line as a narrative, you know, just like you read a comic strip. We start with this, and then this happens, and then that, right? So we're getting a little story. So what I saw was, when we simplify our lives by reducing quantity, we're left with the quality. Trust the quality. That's what I immediately saw. So, you know, first know that when I use the cards in this way, my mind is clear and calm, right? I just meditated, and I am open to whatever hits me as soon as I look at those cards. So if you think of it that way, different readers are going to get different messages, but they're all going to relate to the meanings of those cards and your card order, right? Following your method. I mean, if you were reading this line descriptively and you chose a center card focus, obviously these 2 cards would work together to describe that. So it would be different, right? Okay, so let me explain how I saw that. The first card, the fish, is a plentiful supply of something. But then, as we move through the line, we move from a lot of something to one small something. Remember that the child is one of the cards that can make the card it's following or describing smaller. Other shrinking cards are the clover and the scythe and the mice, right? I hope you can see them. Yeah. Okay. And they all reduce something in their own unique way. So I know I mentioned in another video that the child won't make something smaller or take away something in a negative way like the scythe and mice can. When the child reduces something, you're not left with a loss. The child simplifies and lightens. It creates something new, right? That's just beginning and will grow into something else. As in, good things come in small packages, right? It's a very positive card. I'm about to film a video on the child card, so stay tuned for that. The clover I primarily see as reducing something when reading descriptively. The scythe cuts away, removes something, or edits in a sudden, shocking, or aggressive way. Whatever it removes is gone forever. And of course, the mice card diminishes something in a very negative way. It steals and causes worry and leaves filth behind. Can you see the difference in those? Okay, so the point of the exercise is to stretch your intuitive muscles while at the same time solidifying your understanding of the cards' meanings, as well as practicing the various ways to interpret a 3-card line. So this is a great exercise for you learners to practice and for you teachers to use to assist your students. Now, as far as the different ways to read the 3-card line, I, of course, have that in my book. I mean, that's where it all begins for me, you know. I never used pairs of cards. I never did combinations and all that. I started right away with 3 cards. So right there, start with 3 cards, and I have the narrative reading, the paired reading, charged focus card, uncharged focus card with middle card focus, focus card reading with first card focus, past, present, future, line of 3, and then of course we move to the line of 5 and 7, and on we go. But that's in there, of course. So here are the guidelines for the exercise. You start by stating a question and lay 3 cards to answer that question, right? Just as I did. you then you're then going to apply different questions using the same line of 3 cards. Okay, so again, if you look in my book, I have an entire chapter on questions, on formula. This is a great bookstore, by the way. I hope it's still there in Salem. Next time you're in Salem, go to Wicked Good Books. Okay, yeah, I have a whole chapter on formulating questions, and yes, no questions, and then of course I have a question sampler. And okay, the question sampler I organized by what, how, why, where, when, who, and show me. But then I also have question ideas by theme, right? So there's career, finances, family, love, and you can see there's not too many. It was just to get you thinking. And then rephrasing common questions. I think that's the last part. It is. But you know, questions is a biggie. Getting that question right, right? Okay, so the idea is that you're going to keep the same line of 3 cards and you're going to come up with different questions and see how this line of 3 will answer all the different questions. Okay? Then you specify your interpretation method, right? So you can then, with the various questions, answer them by reading the line as a narrative, as a story, 1, 2, 3, or as a descriptive with first card focus, and then it moves to these 2, you know, describing it, or center card focus, where these 2 are paired or mirrored to describe it. And you just have to stick to your core meanings or primary vibes, okay? So as long as you are sticking to your question and your interpretation method, which way you're going to interpret, right, and your core meanings, there can't be any wrong answers, right? But you don't want to overthink it. You want to go with your first thought. And if you're not having fun, you're overthinking. I mean, the idea is to see what comes to mind when you focus on your question and your core meanings, right? And different readers are going to get different messages, but they should all make sense within the parameters of the card meanings and the method and the context, right? So what I mean by that is one reader may describe something as being white, and another may describe it as being light, and yet another may describe it as being colorless, and yet they would all be correct. Okay, that's what I mean by that. So for all of those of you who are brandy new and would like to practice with this line of 3, just follow the guidelines I just provided and leave your answers in the comments below. And let's see, I'll just throw a few of my keywords at you for each card to get you thinking, right? So, you know, what's the fish a card of? It's quantity, exchange, independence, value, cash flow or flow, slippery, okay? The child is small, innocent, young, playful, simple, something beginning, something small, something growing. All right, the dog is friendship, faithfulness, trustworthy, staying with something, right? Remaining loyal to something, or your dog or your pet. Okay? Ready? Off you go. Start playing. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.